Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sussex Squad, your #1 home where we celebrate purpose, truth and a good dose of royal embarrassment. Just not the Harry and Meghan kind. Oh no, here we roast the ones who deserve it. So buckle up, grab your snacks, maybe even your emotional support teacup, because today Buckingham Palace has spun itself into such a mess. I'm convinced their PR office is being run by a Wi-Fi router that keeps disconnecting. Because somehow, a simple courtesy update from Prince Harry became a full-blown palace crisis. You would have thought Harry sent them a subpoena, not a polite heads-up. But this is Buckingham Palace, the place where overreaction is practically an Olympic sport. And the British tabloids? Oh, they were panting like puppies waiting for someone to throw them a scandal bone. Now, let's rewind. Harry, a grown man with an actual job, an actual schedule and an actual mission, travels to Toronto. Not for show, not for palace optics, not to stand around cutting ribbons like someone we know whose entire calendar is a scrapbook of scissors. No, Harry was there to honour veterans, to stand with people who've lived what he lived, to support a cause he built from the ground up. And like any professional human being on earth, his team sent a courtesy update to Buckingham Palace. Not to grovel, not to ask for their royal permission like a schoolboy asking to use the washroom. Just a brief, respectful notification. That's it. But baby, when the tabloids got a whiff of this trip, the palace panicked so hard I'm convinced they tripped over their own throne chairs. Suddenly the palace, this centuries-old institution that survives on the illusion of grace, claimed they were blindsided. They behaved like Harry had parachuted into Toronto wearing a flashing neon sign that said, "Catch me if you can." And I'm sitting here like, y'all didn't see an email in 2025? Were the pigeons busy? Did somebody unplug the palace inbox to charge their iPad? Let's be real. This wasn't about emails. This wasn't about timing. This wasn't about protocol. This was about control, a word Buckingham Palace clings to like it's the last biscuit at afternoon tea. Harry moved independently, confidently, professionally, and to them, that's the equivalent of a natural disaster. Because the moment Harry behaves like the autonomous man he is, not the puppet they want him to be, they crumble. And that's the beauty of this whole thing. Harry is no longer sitting in that palace system that expects you to shrink yourself just to fit in. He chose to walk away. He chose a real life with real purpose. He chose compassion over commands, humanity over hierarchy, service over the circus. Look at Harry's Toronto visit. The man shows up, stands with veterans and embodies everything the military stands for. Because, unlike certain royals who play soldier for photo ops, Harry actually served. Boots on the ground, missions flown, lives risked. Meanwhile, the palace is up in arms, sweating over an email like it's a national emergency. Because when Harry stands with veterans, he's not Prince Harry, son of King Charles. He's Captain Wales, the man who earned his stripes, not inherited them. That's the part that terrifies the monarchy. Because while their power comes from birthright, Harry's power comes from respect. And when you stack Harry's real-world impact against the monarchy's staged appearances, the contrast is painful. Harry builds things. He creates things. Invictus Games literally changes lives. Meanwhile, William is somewhere practicing how to nod solemnly at a plaque unveiling. And the palace knows it. That's why they panic every time Harry breathes too loudly. Because Harry succeeding outside their control proves something devastating. The monarchy is not essential. Let me repeat that. The monarchy is not essential. And Harry is living proof. That's why a harmless courtesy update turned into a meltdown. The palace pretended they didn't receive the email, oh please, as if their inbox suddenly went into witness protection. Because claiming ignorance allows them to spin the narrative. They love making Harry look defiant, rebellious, unpredictable. Meanwhile, the only unpredictable thing here is who at the palace forgot to hit reply. And of course the tabloids ran with it like they were being paid by the panic. They painted Harry as dramatic, difficult, spotlight-hungry. They ignored his service. They ignored his mission. They ignored his purpose. Because heaven forbid a prince actually uses his platform for something other than posing behind velvet ropes. But all this chaos exposes something powerful. Harry is operating on purpose. Harry is operating on humanity. Harry is operating on independence. And that is something no palace protocol can handle. The monarchy needs obedience to survive. Harry chose authenticity. And authenticity will always be the louder, brighter, stronger force. And here's the funniest part. The palace and their loudspeaker tabloids keep insisting that Harry is desperate for relevance. Yet every time he steps outside his house, the entire royal press corps behaves like he's Beyoncé holding a surprise album. If Harry coughs, they write a trilogy. If Harry smiles, they panic about overshadowing. If Harry sends a polite email, they rearrange furniture at Buckingham Palace like they're preparing for an exorcism. Meanwhile, Meghan, Sussex and Harry are out there minding their business, raising kids, running charities, building empires, healing veterans, travelling the world, and actually touching real lives. The contrast is so embarrassing for the palace that honestly, if I were them, I'd stop focusing on courtesy emails and start focusing on courtesy mirrors, because the reflection is not cute. So let me ask you, do you honestly believe Buckingham Palace didn't receive that message? Or are we witnessing yet another episode of Let's Pretend Harry is the Problem? A show nobody asked for, produced by an institution scared of becoming a museum. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think, because honestly, this plot twist was so predictable I could have written it myself. Oh wait, I basically did. And before you go, my amazing Sussex Squad family, don't forget, hit that like button. Subscribe for truth, humour and royal reality checks. Tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And if you want to support the channel, send a super thanks or buy your host a coffee, because these royal mess-ups are exhausting and caffeine is necessary. Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, and thank you for always choosing facts over foolishness.